Yep.
Awesome. So without further ado, let's pass it over to our Vice President of Sales, Maritza Sepulveda, out of Fort Worth, Texas. Take it away, girl.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate every one of you. So I want to talk about referrals today and why it's super important and how to build or easily build a referral-based business. I mean, and this is just based on my personal experience, what worked for me. When I started in the industry, I didn't have that much capital to spend on leads initially. And even, I started with a company that was providing not the best leads, to say the least. And so I was spending a little bit of money on leads, but it wasn't providing me with the income that I assumed it would. So I decided to do a bunch of research, talk to people, reach out to people that had built their agencies based on their referrals and their current book of business. Okay. So I just want to talk about, 5 tips that I have for you guys and why I think they would be good for you. So first and foremost, really important. So first thing you have to do, in my opinion, is you have to build an email marketing outreach with automation. Okay. And this is going to come with a CRM of your choice or a CRM that you currently have. It is imperative that you reach out to your clients and simply ask, once you seal the deal with a current client or a person that you know, add them into your pipeline on the CRM and send automated emails to everybody every 3 months, every 6 months, 9 months, and once a year, or so on and so forth. So I do mine every 3 months and I get a lot of business that way because, I mean, hypothetically speaking, sometimes you may not close a deal because the client may not be ready. But when you do close the deal, great. It's said and done. That means they remembered you. They have you in mind because you kept up with them. But also, it's the perfect opportunity for you to be able to ask for a referral at that time. So you can do this 2 ways, right? So this goes to my second step. So simply ask. It's really simple, you guys. Once you close the deal, you're literally going to go or wait a week, call your referral or call your client at that point and explain that your business is built on referrals, obviously. And if they have 5 people in their phone that they can positively say that may offer or that you have the same services for them as well, if that makes sense. So the way that I do it is when I close the deal, I wait a week, then I call my client and I say, hey, so I do it 2 ways. So I always say, is it appropriate for me to reach out to your beneficiaries so that I can make sure that they understand how the claims process works in the event that you pass away? Okay. Super simple. And the reason I word it like that is because no one ever is going to say no to you because there's nothing inappropriate about that, right? I mean, this is an extension of your service. So to me, it always helps. I never get a no, and it allows me to reach out to the beneficiaries, whether it's one or it's multiple beneficiaries. I call, I ask, I tell them that my current client gave me permission to reach out to them to explain the claims process. So I go through that really simply. And you can get all that information with whichever carrier you go ahead and move forward with. And, once I tell them what the process is, I go ahead and get their email because I don't have their emails, right? I only have their names and date of birth based on the application and the information that I have. So I get their email and I tell them that I'm going to email them a form that they have to save and keep forever in the event that my client passes away. They have the form ready. They save my number, they have my name, and they'll be able to call me and we can go through that. Right after I, provide that information to them, I already have their email, I have their name, their date of birth. So I basically have all their information at that point. Then I will go ahead and ask them if their financial needs are met. They have everything set up for themselves as well. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, you guys. I would say maybe out of 5 people that I reach out to that are referrals, I will have a conversation with 3. Okay, so that's another way. So third tip, be as personable as possible. Super, super important. When you have a client make sure to always reach out, save it on your calendar, save their birthdays, save their anniversaries, the names of their children. You have all this information based on the application that you already did for them. So, they have children that are beneficiaries. Save those dates on there and then reach out to them. Put it on your calendar, reach out to them with your email marketing outreach system that you have, your CRM or whatever, put them in your pipeline, and they become a potential client. So this is a referral. Again, if you reach out to these people, and you're trying to make them referrals and it doesn't work out, that's not a problem. You're going to repeat the process. So it's going to be a domino effect, if that makes sense. So, if the beneficiary does not want to move forward with any financial services, they're set, no worries. Ask them for 5 more people, that they can think of that may have a need for your services. Okay, so anniversaries, birthdays, always follow up with them. And I like to send mine out, just so you guys know, at midnight, because that way they see that I'm the first person that wished them a happy birthday on their birthday or an anniversary, and it works. I'm telling you, they remember you. They, it's important to them. And it just, it builds a relationship with them. So once you build a relationship, a strong relationship with your client, it's more likely that they're going to remember you when they're talking about finances with their friends, or they're having conversations with their children about the future, or building wealth, or what have you. It works. They'll remember you and they're going to drop your name. So let me see. Always learn how to control a conversation. Tip number 4, super important. When you're speaking to your client initially, before you ask for a referral, make sure you're not too pushy in the beginning. You always want to make sure that you time it perfectly. Once you have the conversation about whether they want to move forward or not, again, do the application, but make sure you remind them that, and even if it's a lead, you guys, make sure that you remind them that, just say 75% of my business is built on referrals. So I do utilize, the process that you saw and that you reached out to me for information for. However, most of my business is built from referrals. So I am a referral-based business. And so if 5 people that may have a need for my services, please let me know, and just send me their information. So that's one thing I always do. And then the last one, you guys, this one's, it's optional. A lot of people don't do it. When I started in the industry, I built my book on a business based on this. So offer gifts or incentives. So I used to take my clients either out for a cup of coffee or for lunch, or provide a Starbucks gift card. Sometimes I would do like a $50 Visa card if they referred someone to me, always, because, again, I mean, I think the maximum that you can do in Texas is $50, and every state is different. So make sure you look that up, because you can't just offer, $200 for every person. But yes, it works. Definitely works. So does anybody have any questions thus far? Nobody has.
Maritza, just
Yes,
a clarification. If you say it's for referrals, like, hey, if you refer a friend, do you give them the incentive if they just give the name and number, or if the person closes business?
the person closes business. And I always say that. I always tell them, if they decide to move forward with any type of my services, I will certainly remember you, and I will make sure that I take care of you. That's all I say. I don't tell them I'm going to send them money. I don't tell them I'm going to buy them a cup of coffee. I don't tell them what I'm going to do, because I don't know, at that point. So, but I do, and I do follow through. It's very important to me, because, you have to take care of your people. And again, the more you take care of them, they will remember you. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant, you guys. I mean, it can be literally go to Starbucks or get them a Starbucks card. At this point, you already know your client, you know what they like, you know what they do. So yeah, I mean, I had a client that loved baseball. So I bought his kid a baseball bat one time, and they were so happy with that. They sent me about, God, I think that guy sent me like 4 people one time, and I was able to write business on everybody. So people remember,
Maritza,
yes.
you similar like with professional kind of referral contacts? Like, are you working with people of other industries, not necessarily clients? Like, I know we've mentioned maybe before, like real estate agents, stuff like that. Like, how are you handling those, and are they very different, or?
So great question. So yes, I do. So I have I'm sorry, not a CRM, a CPA friend of mine, and I have a real estate agent that send me people. And the reason when I started in the industry, I wanted somebody in real estate because I knew I could sell them mortgage protection insurance easily. Because I knew they had just bought a house. I knew what the house cost. So the way I would work it, I mean, very simple. Again, I would utilize mortgage protection insurance to kind of get in the door. And then I would, obviously do a financial needs assessment and figure out if they really needed it or not, or if they needed another product. And most of the time I would get a lot of sales that way. And the way I would do that and how I would get those referrals is I would just reach out to my real estate agent friend. And real estate agents, I mean, I don't know if anybody here has been in real estate, but you get a list, a monthly list or a weekly list of all the closings of homes every single week. And I'm talking about thousands of people, right? So you can literally pick up the phone and call each, and they're warm leads, right? But who cares? I mean, it's a list of people that you can reach out to. You have the real estate agent's name at that point. So, I mean, if the agent is comfortable with you dropping their name, that's even better. It's even better when you actually speak to your real estate agent or your friend or whoever's referring you these people, and they've done business with them prior. So, because again, you can drop their name, it's a person of trust to them, to the potential lead or candidate or whatever. And yeah, so it allows you to drop their name, you build a relationship with them, you're in the door already. So you can have a conversation. Again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes their needs are met. But again, you're having conversations, it's activity, at that point. And if it doesn't work out with them, again, you just ask them for more referrals, 5 more people. So it's a domino effect. Like I said, I mean, you're just speaking to people at this point, and you're going to get a lot of sales that way. You don't have to spend any money doing it. Or what I would do with my real estate agent friend and the CPA that would refer me clients was I would take them to dinner, or I would send them a dinner card for Del Frisco's for a steak dinner. I mean, it's $100, but I closed about 10 deals with those people in 1 month. So,
So
that's
they know, like with your professional ones, they know that they might receive something. Like they already know. Like, did you ever set it up with them, or it was kind of just you knew what that person liked, similar to your clients? Like, did you ever kind of set up a deal like, hey, Maritza, if you send me somebody and it closes, you'll get a cut of some kind?
So I wouldn't say you would get you'll get a cut, but I will always drop and say, I'll take care of you. I'll make sure you're taken care of. We'll do something nice for you. So yeah, send your people my way, and we'll figure something out. So I took a friend of mine that referred to a big client, one of my big money management people, took him to a basketball game one time. So I mean,
Yeah, I think
go ahead.
one thing I would say, Priscilla, just keep in mind that people like real estate, tax professionals, accountants, things like that, they're usually self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
So they ain't gonna do nothing they don't make money off of. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with being intentional. Be careful with saying, "Oh, I'll give you 20%. I'll
Yeah.
give you 30%." Because if the deal comes in and it's massive, you're gonna screw yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, what I typically say is, "Hey, I'll kick you down with a referral, finder fee or something like that." But definitely make sure that they know they're going to get rewarded, because I've had conversations with real estate folks before, and here's what they're like, "Oh yeah, well, yeah, I'll keep it in mind. If I think of anybody, I'll send it to you." I'm literally like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
right." Like they don't give a rat's about me, right? Why? Because it's with them. What's in it for them, just like it's what's in it for you. So if you do not put money on that, don't count on anything coming your way.
Exactly. And also what I would do with my especially the CPA, I would tell them, if I find somebody that needs your services, I'll go ahead and send them to you. So, it was kind of like an exchange of referrals at that point. And I would always say, I'll take care of you. We'll do something nice for you and the family or whatever, something like that. But I would never say a dollar amount, because first of all, it's illegal in most states. And based on the state, there's a certain limit that you can do as a gift for a client or a referral or what have you, or for marketing purposes. So that's what I would say.
Maritza, I have a question on, I guess, the tonality. Should it be like, if you know 5 people, or what 5 people do you know that will need my service?
Okay, so great question. So at the end of the conversation that I have with them, when I'm filling out an application, this is not after. The week after, I only ask to reach out to their beneficiaries. So when I'm closing the deal, I always say, so, you know, my business is, thank you so much for your service. I mean, thank you so much for your business. I really appreciate it. So one last thing before you go, just so you know, my business is built on referrals. It's a referral-based business. So do you know any 5 people that you can think of right now, just off the top of your head or in your phone? I mean, if you could look at your phone right now, that would be in need of my services, you know, because this is a really good deal for you. I want to make sure that, you know, I can get the most out of I can get the most clients as soon as possible before the year ends, is what I say, or something like that, you know, just whatever comes up. But yes, you always ask for the 5 people before you leave the client, because if you say, okay, can you email me? They're not going to email you. I'm going to like, it's never going to happen, because they're not going to take the time to do it. They're done, you know, they're done with the business. I mean, they're going to refer you eventually. Yes. If you keep up with them, if you build a relationship with them, absolutely. But, you know, it's best to have those 5 people lined up before you end the conversation when you're closing a deal. Super important. So yeah. And I just like that, just ask them. So yeah, just so you know, my business is built on referrals. So if you can think of any 5 people right now, or any 5 people that, you know, are on your phone right now, any friends that you associate with that have like-minded interests as you, as far as finances go.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Like-minded individuals as far as finances go. I mean, because I mean, yeah, people with high net worth typically hang out with other people of high net worth. So
Maritza,
yes, ma'am.
when you said number 2, would it be appropriate to contact your beneficiaries? I didn't jot everything down. Do you mind repeating that?
Absolutely. So I always say, so Miss Isabel, would it be appropriate if I reached out to your beneficiaries so that I can explain the claims process in the event that you pass away? I'm going to tell you all right now, you guys, that line, that pitch right there, I wrote 100 grand in 10 days when earlier, a few years ago, just based on that, based on referrals. I didn't buy a single lead in those first 10 days. And I wrote that much business because I just reached out to people. And I reached out to my old clients that I had from when I first started in the industry. And I asked the exact same thing. I would say, hey, you know, it's almost time for your anniversary, or, you know, we're 2 years in. I just wanted to have a conversation with you. Is it okay if I reach out to your beneficiaries just to make sure that they understand what the claims process looks like, okay? In the event of your passing, or in the event that anything happens, or in the event that, you know, we can't get a hold of you, or you're in the hospital and you can't speak at that point, and we need to have access to your living benefits. So just something like that. But yes, is it appropriate? You have to say, is it appropriate? Because they're never going to say no. Why? Because there's nothing inappropriate about that statement, you know? So that's exactly how I would word it. And they would always say yes, absolutely. Why? Because it's important to them, you guys. I mean, they want to make sure that their beneficiaries get, you know, their money in the event that they pass. So, okay. Anybody else have any questions, you guys? No one else has questions. So if I ask you guys right now what your referral verbiage is, you guys would be
So
solved.
I have a question. So let's say they are like, well, I need to talk to them first and make sure that it's okay to give you their information. What do you say to that?
Well, so if they say it like that, I'd just be like, well, I already have their information. So, you know, I mean, I am your financial advisor at that point, or you can say I am your insurance advisor. But I have had people that say, oh, you know what? No, let me talk to them first. No problem. So what I say is no problem. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and reach out to them as soon as you can. And let me know when I can reach out to them, because this is really important. Because if I'm not available, I want to make sure that they have these forms and documents in place just in case anything happens. What if I travel, abroad or what have you, and I'm not available to answer the phone for them? Because I know they have my phone number, but do they know the process to file the claim? Most of the time the client is like, you know what, that's absolutely right. So yeah, absolutely. You can reach out to them now. And then, sometimes when I did that big month, what I would also do and what I would also add, just so I could get immediately in contact with the beneficiary, is I would say, okay, do you mind if we get on a 3-way text right now, just so they know that I'm going to reach out to them, just so I wouldn't be like a surprise call, because even if the client is okay with it, they may not tell the beneficiary immediately, or the referral or whoever. So I wanted to make sure that we get on a 3-way text. And that way, they could tell the beneficiary that I would be reaching out to ask some questions, and to answer any questions that they had on the claims process. Just like that. It's really simple. So does anybody else have questions? Eddie, you look confused. What's going on, dude?
No, I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
just moving stuff around.
All right, I believe you.
No, but I love everything you said, especially I learned like that one line to get the referrals, to, if it's appropriate for you to, reach out to your beneficiaries. That's freaking
It's
that's
gold.
fire.
It
I'm just gonna say it's good.
cool. It works. So anybody else? No one else. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much it, you guys. I don't have a lot today. Like I said, I just wanted to talk about referrals in the event that, I know sometimes it's really difficult for you guys to start investing in leads. You still have to invest in them eventually, but just to start, or if you want to supplement what you're currently doing with your leads right now, because I know a lot of people have closed business, reach out to those people that you already closed, reach out to, people that you have in mind, or reach out to friends even. If they say no, no worries. Just ask them for 2 or 5 people that they can refer you, that, or maybe a cousin or a sister, somebody that might have the need for your services. And you're going to get a few names, you guys. Like it works. Reach out to them. And if those people say no, ask for more referrals. Again, it's a domino effect. So as long as if you're intentional about that, it's going to work. And if you're intentional with your CRM, and if you speak correctly to the client, don't just go into a meeting and start asking for referrals. Well, that doesn't work. That obviously, come on now. Like, you have to time it properly, make sure you're not pushy. If they don't want to give you a name, no sweat, move on to the next person. Because some people won't, you won't get referrals from anybody. But what I recommend is try to find, go on your Facebook. I know y'all are on social media all day because I see y'all on there. So, so find a CPA, or find a real estate agent. There's always people listing stuff. Reach out to them, send them an email. You might hear back from them, you might not. But if you build a relationship with a person that's in real estate, or that invests or what have you, those people are typically very well connected with other folks that have some type of financial need. Remember, you don't just have to offer term. You don't just have to offer this and that. You can simply talk about your agency and what the agency offers in full. It doesn't have to be just to beneficiaries. It can be to multiple people. So build a network of individuals that have a strong book of business. Again, like real estate agents, CPAs, physicians even. Good Lord. I've had some referrals from my own doctor. She's referred clients to me that she knows did not have health insurance when I started in the industry. So out-of-pocket clients are really good. If you ask your doctor, they'll drop some names. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Get the doctor's information and sell them a policy. Sell everybody a policy. So that's all I have, you guys. So any other questions? No one has questions. So y'all are going to be writing a shit ton of business this week with all these tips, right? All right, cool. That's all I have, Mario.
All right, cool. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. I'll add 2 that I usually use. First off, the beneficiary nugget is fire. So just like Eddie said, I really, really like that. Couple of things. Number 1 is I had a good buddy of mine who would always say the greatest compliment that you can give me is to trust your friends and family to me. And then he would follow up by saying this all the time: only if I've earned it. Only if I've earned it Okay, can you think of anybody else that might benefit from having a conversation with me? Right? Doesn't necessarily mean anything about like buying. It's just, does anybody you know could benefit from having a conversation with me? Only if I've earned it. So, but yeah, that's pretty awesome, guys. And another thing is, referrals are an always time thing. Like, even if you're buying leads, always be doing this, right? Because you don't want to be like, well, I'm out of leads and I'm out of money, so let me kick back in the referrals, right? Always be doing this. So if you just bought leads this week or last week, this should be what you're doing every day at the same time as leads. That's how you never let your business die. So that said, thank you guys so much for jumping on. Let's see, I think we're done. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Thanks, Maritza. Appreciate you.
Guys, bye-bye.